For as the eyes of bats are to the blaze of day, so is the reason in our soul to the things which are by nature most evident of all. The duty of rhetoric is to deal with such matters as we deliberate upon without arts or systems to guide us, and the hearing of persons who cannot take in at a glance a complicated argument or follow a long chain of reasoning. Nature does nothing in vain. All paid jobs absorb and degrade the mind. Men create gods after their own image, not only with regard to their form, but with regard to their mode of life. Even when laws have been written down, they ought not always to remain unaltered. Of all the varieties of virtues, liberalism is the most beloved. Bring your desires down to your present means. Increase them only when your increased means permit. In making a speech, one must study 3 points. First, the means of producing persuasion. Second, the language. Third, the proper arrangement of the various parts of the speech. He who is to be a good ruler must have first been ruled. Therefore, the good of man must be the end of the science of politics. Man is by nature a political animal. Persuasion is achieved by the speaker's personal character when the speech is so spoken as to make us think him credible. We believe good men more fully and more readily than others. This is true generally whatever the question is, and absolutely true where exact certainty is impossible and opinions are divided. A statement is persuasive and credible either because it is directly self-evident or because it appears to be proved from other statements that are so. Bad men are full of repentance. Courage is a mean with regard to fear and confidence. The virtue of justice consists in moderation, as regulated by wisdom. The wise man does not expose himself needlessly to danger, since there are few things for which he cares sufficiently, but he is willing, in great crises, to give even his life, knowing that under certain conditions it is not worthwhile to live. The poet, being an imitator like a painter or any other artist, must of necessity imitate one of 3 objects: things as they were or are, things as they are said or thought to be, or things as they ought to be. The vehicle of expression is language, either current terms or, it may be, rare words or metaphors. Poetry is finer and more philosophical than history, for poetry expresses the universal, and history only the particular. Men are swayed more by fear than by reverence. Men acquire a particular quality by constantly acting in a particular way. A tragedy is a representation of an action that is whole and complete and of a certain magnitude. A whole is what has a beginning and middle and end. If liberty and equality, as is thought by some, are chiefly to be found in democracy, they will be best attained when all persons alike share in government to the utmost. We praise a man who feels angry on the right grounds and against the right persons, and also in the right manner at the right moment and for the right length of time. In constructing the plot and working it out with the proper diction, the poet should place the scene, as far as possible, before his eyes. In this way, seeing everything with the utmost vividness, as if he were a spectator of the action, he will discover what is in keeping with it, and be most unlikely to overlook inconsistencies.